I'm very excited to welcome back producer Kyrie and MacTavish.
Watching. I'll also bring out Antony, our director, and Stuart and Martin from the band.
So before we get into it, just a reminder that this is the QR code for voting for the film, so make sure you do that within the next 30 minutes. Thank you so much. I was just saying to Antony, like hearing the music at the end and the volume and power of it, it's really such a great ode to the music, and thank you for bringing it. We appreciate it. So I guess I'll start by asking, what was the origin story of the project? How did you get involved? How did you come into it? Give us the juice.
It's a weird story actually, because what had happened was we were going to make the album that the film's obviously about in America with Dave Fridman, who lives not far from where Antony, relatively, not far from where Antony lives, upstate New York. But before it, we were going to play the songs live at these gigs in the Highlands and Islands of Scotland. And we'd just been chatting, hadn't we? And I was like, you could do a wee film about that and maybe film some of the gig. And in my head, it was like a 15-minute thing for YouTube, but you had other ideas?
Yeah, it just kind of grew from there, really. It was kind of a tour film originally. It was going to be a tour film of these guys touring the Highlands of Scotland, and then COVID arrived, and the tour got cancelled. The tour was already, you were selling tickets for it already, weren't you? Yeah. So we were going to travel around the Highlands of Scotland and make like a small tour film. And then COVID arrived, and it just kind of grew from there, really. I just found myself with a lot of time on my hands, so it just kind of expanded into what it is now, like a full story of the band. But I'd worked with the band for a long time, doing music videos and shooting record covers, so we had like a good relationship for a long time, and so they just agreed to it, and we made what we've got today. So.
Well, I'm going to throw it open, so if anyone has any questions, please put your hands up.
First off, I saw y'all last night. I want to thank you for making a stand for the Palestinian people. When artists make statements, it doesn't shape policy, but it provides discourse, and it's nice when your artists reflect the values that you hold dear. So thank you for being brave.
Appreciate it. It's the least we could do. You know, I know there's a lot of controversy with the sponsorship, and I'm pretty appalled by that, and yeah, everything that's going on over there is horrific, so appreciate you saying that.
About the project,
Right.
for everyone, that's a lot of footage to go through. Is there anything you are just dying is on the cutting room floor? And so what is it?
The question was about things that were left on the cutting room floor you would love to have included.
There's lots. There's an awful lot.
I sent a lot of footage to Antony.
You watched it all, didn't
I
you?
watched everything. Hours and hours of
Nonsense.
quite embarrassing stuff, it must be said. And I did, when I was forwarding it to him, I said, please be kind. You know, because a lot of stuff there that
We were really cheeky when we were young. Still a wee bit cheeky, but we were very, very cheeky. And yeah, I'm sure there was a lot of just us being a bunch of wee dicks.
yeah, mostly talking crap after concerts and stuff, but not anything really anyone needs to see ever.
There was a lot of stuff like that, I guess, and I watched it all. I watched felt like hundreds of hours of archive material, and, but I didn't want to tell that story really. It felt like, I don't know, like every young band kind of behaving a certain way, and in fact it didn't seem interesting to me that, you know what I mean? I wanted it to be more soulful and just didn't feel necessary to kind of, you know, include some of that. But they were really brave, these guys, and really kind, just letting me do what I want really. And I went through all the archive footage, and there was no notes from you guys. Like when I showed them the first edit, there was no real notes. I think there was like one ex-girlfriend that somebody didn't want, wasn't there, or something like that. But that was it. It was the only picture note actually. So all the archive and everything, they were happy. And so just one note, and it was an ex-girlfriend that had to be taken out. And that was it.
Another question. It's always looking for gossip. Yeah, let's see in the middle of the. I was gonna say with the black T-shirt on, but that's like so many people. Like, you who I'm pointing to right here.
With the black Mogwai shirt. So thank you all for the concert last night and obviously the film. I think probably the big question, which hopefully someone's going to answer, is when is everyone else going to be able to see this?
The question was about when the film will be more widely available.
So we've like just finished this film. We've got a few festivals that we're getting into and hoping to get into. So we're going to do a bit of a festival run first, and then we're in the process of selling it to distributors. So that's kind of all talks are just happening. But vote for us, and you know we'll win an award and someone will buy it, and then it'll be out there quicker.
Yes, let's see. I want to go to the. Is there anyone at the back that I might have missed? Right here.
A woman who went through a divorce and talking about how the album affected her. Did you find that a general trend through the pandemic? Because my band from the first album, my listening skyrocketed during the pandemic, and I think for me it was emotional content that I was bringing to listening to music that really got me to it. And so, did you hear anything similar to that from other fans, or?
So I guess the question was about, if I'm getting it correct, have you heard stories about how the music helped people through the pandemic, or I guess through difficult times more broadly as well?
Yeah, I mean, I've kind of, especially during the pandemic, but over the years, just so many times someone will say, your music's really helped me get through something, or something happened to me, and your music was a great comfort to me, and it's such a lovely thing to hear, you know, because, like I can mention the film, once it's out there, it's out there, you know, and it doesn't really belong to you anymore, it belongs to everyone, so no, but Antony was the person that kind of reached out to all these people, and we only really saw that pretty recently, and it was kind of really, personally, really moving, the guy that lost his brother and everything, these like amazing stories, and just knowing that what we do can help people get through things is really, really nice.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that kind of stuff actually. How that footage came about was these guys were doing a show in Glasgow. We just put an advertisement out for people that go into the show, film their journey, and I wrote a kind of little story of what, you know, a few questions like, can you tell us about what Mogwai means to you, and just give us a background of your history with the band. We got so much material, and I was going through it, and it just
The one guy that didn't like the gig, that's my favourite.
There's one guy that didn't like it. But he was just...
What guy? He's not in it. He's not in it. Good.
Yeah, he said he passed it. But yeah, we just got this amazing material, and I just couldn't believe it actually. And Richard, the guy who lost his brother, it was just incredible. And I kind of made an edit with that stuff, and I actually sent it to them before, like I was in contact with these people, and I sent them the edit before the band saw it actually. I just wanted to make sure they were cool with it, because it wasn't ever going to be such a big part of it actually. I just imagined losing little bits of it, but we kind of expanded it into like a whole chapter of the film. So I actually sent it to them first and said, you know, I want you to check this out, and this is what I want to do with it, and are you good with it? And they loved it. So we kind of collaborated on a little bit. The guy who lost his brother, he sent us more material of him and his brother on holiday around the time he first met Mogwai, and showed it to his mother and that kind of thing. So it was, yeah, I got them involved really early on, as soon as I knew how good the material was. But yeah, just a testament to the band really, that it makes people, you know, it makes people feel like that. So I think it kind of describes how people feel about the band really well.
Yeah, let's see. I see some more hands. Yes, yes, you in the black t-shirt. Yeah, with the white hat on, yes.
I lived in Scotland for a year. My sister-in-law is Scottish, and I found myself getting really emotional despite seeing the imagery and seeing
do you want to communicate?
Look up there. It's like, at what point did you know the film was going to be a film about Scotland?
You used to live in Scotland too.
Yeah. I studied in Scotland and I lived in Scotland for a long time. And I'm from Manchester originally. I'm not sure if you can tell. They sound a little bit different. When I started on the project, I thought it felt to me that Scotland was going to be a big part of it, and how these guys represent the kind of culture and the art community there. And I think their music sounds like it comes from Glasgow also, in Scotland. So I kind of felt that was important. And the first interview I did was with Ian Rankin, actually, the writer, the author. And that was the very first interview for the project, and he just kind of confirmed my feelings. He just started talking about how their music kind of represents, the light and the shade of like Scottish culture and the history of storytelling, the weather and the landscape. And that was the very first bit of interview material I had. So from that, Ian was so great, it just kind of expanded from there, really. So I kind of developed this connection, how they connected these guys to Scottish culture from that, actually.
Yes, let's see. Any other questions? We're going to go behind you for a second. Make sure everyone gets a chance. So yes, please. Behind the gentleman who just tried to ask.
Well, I love the joy, watch the joy when you play. I love the moment in the film where you had like this inside joke moment. Do you remember what you were joking about?
When we're at the awards ceremony.
There was a question that, yeah.
I was actually thinking that myself. Well, I mean, I think it was the Mercury Awards, and we were nominated, and we never thought we were going to win. But when they announced the person who won, Arlo Parks, is that who won? She just appeared and started playing, and I think we were just like, well, they've always known she was going to. I think we were just having a laugh, like it was so obvious that like they'd already decided, because all her shit was on the stage and they just like instantly started playing. And I think we were just like having a laugh about how funny it was, and it was nice. We were just having a good time. The whole night was surreal. It was very music industry, which is not really very us. So we'd kind of felt like a bunch of freaks all day, and we were just finally getting drunk.
And the music industry is also very funny. So we've got time for one more question. So if there's anyone like over here or maybe at the back that I haven't gotten to yet, now would be a good time to put your hand up. Yes, you in the black t-shirt.
Last 2006, I'm lucky enough to see Mogwai play here down the Stubbs. Who did you dedicate the second Stuart? Dedicate to 2 lines with the Scotsman live.
Jimmy Johnson and who else? Did someone die? Ivor Cutler. Yeah, I remember that.
Before you on stage, you were very emotional when you dedicated the second.
Do you think that?
18 years ago tomorrow.
Oh, stop making me feel old, Tam.
You played with Ivor Cutler and Stubbs. Is that what?
No, we didn't play with Ivor Cutler and Stubbs. No, I don't think Ivor Cutler was a member of the Anti-Noise Society. I think the chances of Ivor Cutler wouldn't have anything to do with us are pretty slim. No, but we're fans. We're Ivor Cutler fans.
So I'm afraid we are going to have to wrap it up. I just want to say thank you so much for accepting our invitation. I mean, it's so magical to see this on the big screen.